Hi there. Super excited today to chat with Sally. Sally participated in School of Om in the spring, and so just wanted to get a little feedback from her on things that she liked about the program. So what was something that you were a little bit surprised about from School of Om?
I think the biggest thing I was surprised about is how much I didn't know. I've been coming to Twist for about 2.5 years,
Yeah.
and I was doing quite a few poses not as correctly as I could.
As everyone.
So it helped me understand why there was some pain associated, or
Sure.
why maybe I was having a sore shoulder, or not using my core enough. So it was really enlightening. So now when I do the poses, I feel no pain, and I feel like it's supposed to feel, the muscle building and the strength training. So that was awesome.
Yeah. Learning about shapes that you've been doing for a long time. I know that I suffered from that. I was doing chaturanga not wrong, but in a less safe manner for years. And, finally learned like a little bit different way. And you can really feel it in your body right away when you start to change things.
Absolutely. Allie was great too, because she was trying to tell us that you don't have to do it the way the instructor says, because not everybody body work the same, right? So my arms don't do, certain poses, right? So to modify, and for her to teach me how to modify, was really enlightening.
Yeah.
Now I enjoy those poses, where before I'm like, oh, I don't want to do that pose.
I know. I feel like that about Warrior One. Every time they say Warrior One, I'm like, oh, that Warrior One.
Yep, that's my least favorite.
But I have learned that a bit from Allie too. Like when you see a picture of Warrior One, it has a very particular shape, and the body goes up straight.
Right.
For my lower back, I need to tilt forward a little bit in my Warrior One, and I was like, oh my gosh, I don't dislike it as much as I did before.
Absolutely. And that it's okay to modify. I'm someone who doesn't like to modify. I just kind of push through the pain. And so she was teaching us, by using the blocks, you actually do the form correctly instead of trying to act like you can do it correctly. Right. Because that's where the injury happens.
Yes.
So.
And I've heard teachers say before that when you walk into a room, you can really tell yogis who are new or who are very advanced by the number of props that they have set up around them.
Well, that's good to know.
You definitely, I'm a big lover of props, and I do think once you learn how to use them and you learn how to like incorporate them into your flow, then they become a tool and not necessarily a prop that you should feel different about. And then what about the anatomy side? Were you interested? I know with your background, that was probably something that was interesting for you.
Absolutely love just learning, not only in the different poses, but just how it's supposed to affect every aspect of the anatomy. Like when you're in a certain pose, I was maybe using my quad or my hamstring, but she would come around and correct it and be like, wait, that muscle's not firing. That muscle's not firing, right? Like, get your hamstring moving. So it was great to know that, when you're doing the poses correctly and you're feeling really good about the pose, that you feel the anatomy pieces that you're supposed to, so that you're getting the workout that yoga's supposed to provide.
Definitely. And then another part of School of Om is we dive a little bit into like the history and philosophy side, which is something that we don't really get to spend a lot of time in classes. So you really get kind of from the shapes that you're doing to the gross anatomy side to the philosophy side, and then kind of the subtle body stuff that's happening in there too. So the philosophy, was that something of interest as well?
The philosophy was great. I think that my favorite part was the chakras. So I had learned, about this much about chakras. And after that class, I went and bought the Wheels of Time.
Oh, yeah.
And then I started teaching that in my work to my leadership team and to my staff, so that we can pass it on to clients, because there's so much that can be blocked through that. So I became a student of chakras after that class. And I absolutely enjoyed learning, just especially the different ages that you can block that chakra, and then what you can do differently to release that chakra, and the foods you're eating or not eating, and the mantras you can say. And so it's just, I felt like it was just a whole cleansing experience, not just doing the yoga part better and the anatomy, but really learning about internally, right? The psychological aspect of yoga, and how you can really get the most benefit out of it.
Yeah, and that's a great example where different people come away with different things from School of Om. Sometimes people think, oh my gosh, I really am interested in the anatomy side, and I really want to dive deeper into figuring out, what's going on in the spine or the hips. And then some people that philosophy side or that internal subtle body side, might spark some interest. So that's one of the reasons that we created this program, with a little bit of everything, so that people could just, like, sometimes it could just be, oh my gosh, wow, I want to learn more about that, and then you can go on your own and study more about that. So
yeah, I definitely got so much out of it.
Good.
I'm loving the practice now even more, and body feels fabulous, and I know how to modify, I know how to use the blocks. I know what I'm doing, what I'm not doing, and I hear Allie's voice every time. I'm like, oh wait, nope, that's not engaged.
Yeah.
Nope, that hamstring. Darn it, how do I do it?
That
So,
Allie, she gets back there
yes,
in your
she
head, right,
does.
with her sweet little smile and voice.
Yep,
you know?
yep. Very
Knit the
gentle.
ribs in.
Very gentle.
Yeah,
which I
right.
appreciate.
Yeah.
It was an awesome experience.
Good.
I definitely would recommend it.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for
You're
chatting
welcome.
with us. And if you have any other questions about School of Om, you can check out twist-yoga.com. Underneath classes, there's a tab for School of Om, and it starts on November 12th. Thank you.